The situation facing migrants. Let's speak with international human rights lawyer Helena Olea. She joins us now from Chicago. Helena, good to have you on the show. Croatia, Greece, now Poland. Are you surprised at all by seeing these allegations of torture, abuse, extortion?
Sadly, I am not. The situation has worsened everywhere. What we are seeing is that many countries are trying to make sure that individuals are unable to cross their borders. And in some cases, they are also pushing for measures of extraterritorial control, forcing other countries to make sure that individuals are unable to cross through their countries and finally arrive at their borders. The situation is certainly getting worse, and we are observing a humanitarian crisis in many places of the world.
The global humanitarian protection system has been falling apart for some years now. How did we abandon the notion of burden sharing?
I think that perhaps that's the original problem, is that we view it under the concept of burden sharing rather than, highlighting our shared humanity and our shared commitment to protect human dignity. That is where the problem has changed. I also think that what we are seeing is that there are not enough resources, and that, as I said, extraterritorial policies are being used to make sure that individuals don't make it to their countries. And that has become the preferred strategy worldwide to address forced migration.
Helena, while many aspects of migration and displacement are relatively uncontroversial, it is the aspect of uncontrolled and poorly managed migration, irregular migration, that leads to controversy. I know you said we need more resources, but how do we address this problem from the root?
Well, I think that that's crucial. We have to create the conditions and work to address the problem in the countries of origin so that individuals are not forced to leave their countries. But just in the video you showed, there was this woman saying that she needed a passport. She wants to leave her country regularly. If she doesn't have a passport and she's desperate to leave, she's going to cross a border irregularly, and she's going to have to resort to smugglers or traffickers in persons to be able to do so. And that's really the problem. We have to be able to issue travel documents to reduce costs and also to create more regular pathways. Then we don't have uncontrolled, irregular, disorderly migration. That's really the challenge.
Okay. You say that we have to address the issue at the countries of origin, but let me put this scenario in front of you. Extreme weather and natural disaster events have underscored the connection between a changing climate on our planet and human mobility. How do you address this?
I think it certainly represents a huge challenge, and that's where we see the overlap of the strategies to address climate change and forced migration. And we are seeing there that there needs greater resources. We have to understand that in some cases adaptation is possible, but in other cases migration is the only survival strategy. And so we have to create legal pathways for those individuals who are forced to leave as a result of climate change.
In order to create these legal pathways, you're going to have to convince society, change public opinion, convince lawmakers. How do you do that?
I think it's a current challenge and pressing challenge in many places of the world. I think we have to understand that climate change impacts on us all. We are observing internal displacement in all countries of the world as a result of climate change. We are observing tragedies that are impacting on the population that lives in every country of the world. We have to understand that solidarity is essential and that we need to make changes in how we live and how the economy functions if we want to survive.
Okay. Helena Olea, thank you very much for joining us live from Chicago with a great analysis on the situation.